Another type of question you may see on the exam is some type of a cutout or a major part change that's going to generally cause a bunch of features to fail, and they're testing to see if you know how to go back through the tree and solve the issues inside of that part. So in this example here, I've got this part which is the 4.2-1, which is the part we've been pretty much working with, and then we want to modify to this version over here. So instead of this long slot, we actually just have a hole. And that's the modification we need to make. So we're going to go ahead and I'll show you how I would go about doing that. So right over here is the part. So we need to go back and figure out where this hole is created. So if I click on the actual feature itself, you can see that right over here, it's a circular pattern. Here's my original shape. Now if I click on the history bar, I can roll that feature all the way back to that original shape right there and click on it and then click on modify that sketch. So let's go ahead and edit that sketch. Now the modification I need to do is instead of this slot, just turn that into a regular circle. So instead of deleting this, I'm going to go ahead and just use this as reference geometry. So I'm going to go ahead and window over that and click on for construction, and then go ahead and draw a circle right over here and just snap that circle to that point, and right away everything is fully defined. So that is my modification to the part. Let's go ahead and exit out of that, and you can see it automatically shows up. Then let's go ahead and roll this forward a little bit. You can see how we can walk through the part. Let's go ahead and do a combine. Come down here, add the hole, grab a fillet, and let's go ahead and just drag that all the way to the bottom. Let SOLIDWORKS think about it for a second here. All right, now you can see there's a whole bunch of different errors, and that's what we're being tested on the exam. So let's go back and figure out how we can solve some of these issues. So right over here, you can see we have this boss extrude, and it's got this sketch, and that's causing a little bit of an issue for us. So let's go ahead and figure out what's causing that. Now, generally, if you have a feature right over here like the Boss Extrude 2, which is causing problems, more than likely that is being caused by something directly before it. So this shell right here is probably the culprit. So let's go ahead and drag the history bar back all the way to that shell. And you might notice we're not getting any shell effect down here on the lower arms. So let's click on the shell command itself, click on edit feature, and notice over here, these surfaces right over here got automatically removed from the selection. Let's go ahead and add those back in. Click here, here, and here. Click on OK, and automatically the shell works the way we're expecting. Now let's go ahead and roll that forward, and you can see it actually solved most of our problems. Now come down here to this fillet here, which is the first one. Notice it's missing these edges. No problem. Let's go ahead and just select those again. So come down here, select that very first edge, not the face, the edge. There it is. And you can choose this one right over here, which is going to select all of those internal edges. Click on that, and then click on OK. And if it gives you a warning box, which more than likely it will, click on yes. It's going to delete all those other selections. All right, now do the exact same thing for the second failed fillet. Click on that one, edit the feature, come down over here and choose this edge right inside here. Same thing, let's go ahead and choose all those connected edges, which is that one and that one. And if it gives the option, you can go ahead and choose all those. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose this one, which is that one right there. And that should grab those edges. For some reason, we're not getting all of them at one time, but we can just go ahead and grab them. And sometimes if something gets selected by accident or causing an issue, in this case here I got 12 versus 2 because I rolled the mouse wheel. Let's go ahead and switch that back to 2, and then click on OK, click on yes, and everything should be correct. So now we've got a new part. It's been modified. We had to solve some of the errors or issues in the part. That's what we're pretty much being tested on, that we know how to go back into the history bar or the feature manager and see what's wrong and figure out how we should fix the part to get it back to a state that there's no errors and no issues.